No, because we called the police, we know what they might do. And they did. So my son walked over to security and he said, I need some help. Please help me. And the security guard said, okay, I'll help you. Let me call my dispatcher. She refused to call LAPD. She called her dispatcher. She said, we have a young black man here in the mall. He has a kitchen knife and he's asking for help. Can you please send someone over and need some help? The dispatcher got off the phone with the security guard, called LAPD and said, we have a black man in the mall with a knife. Forgot about him asking for help. LAPD came in like gangbusters, like Navy SEALs. My son was already paranoid. They started shouting and yelling at him. He immediately began to run. And as he ran, they started shooting. I asked one of the police bureau chiefs, why did they shoot him? Why did they use guns before? He said because he ran. Now this is a crowded mall. My son started running, they started shooting. He fell to the ground. He got up. They shot him some more. He fell a second time. He got up. As they got closer, he started running again. They shot him in the back of the leg. He got shot in his back, his shoulder, his back, his leg. When he fell that third, final time, he laid there in a pool of blood. And thanks to Black Lives Matter, we got an independent autopsy. We still haven't got an autopsy from the Los Angeles coroner's office yet. So we had our own independent autopsy. They shot 15 times in the mall, 7 or 8 with my son. So it was baby bottles strewn around, stones strewn around. People were dying to come with their kids. All the windows out of TJ Maxx broke out. They shot in GameStop for kids who shot for video games. And as my son lay there in the pool of blood, all of these shots were non-life threatening. He lay there in the pool of blood in the fetal position. After being shot 6 or 7 times, they walked over while he's laying on the ground in the fetal position, point blank range, and shoot the final ball and kill my son in front of all these kids, all these babies in the mall. Now, that's when my house got set on fire, and that's why Black Lives Matter. And we have George Floyd all over America, all over the country. They had all like this good old boys club, the DA, the chief, the police commission, but the police commission washed their hands of my son's blood. They found the police officers out on policy. Chief Beck, the chief at the time, he retired shortly thereafter. He said he would have had a new policy before. Chief Ward had just fired officers. The House Negro, BLM, she is a House Negro. She was to prosecute these killer cops. And they did a scientific study saying that police violence is the 6th leading cause of death for black men. Police use of force, deadly force, is the 6th leading cause of death for black Americans and people of color. And my son was murdered. Yep, I got my shirt on. A couple years ago. So we're still in the middle of a pandemic. We still have cops killing our people. And this is COVID-19. Trump failed at COVID-19. He's failing at the pandemic of these killer cops. And we live in the killer cop capital of the world, right here in LA. 601 people have been murdered by the cops. The House Negro refuses to do anything about it. And I just want to hear what something Senator Cory said, that the peace is not just an absence of violence, it is the presence of justice. And we need justice.
Yeah. corrupt system. I gotta come out, I gotta fight for my justice.
Yeah.
They shot their guns. Both officers shot their guns. They were driving, and they had their guns in their hand when they were driving. And when they exited the vehicle in such a hasty manner, within 1 second they fired their guns at my son on the sidewalk. In 7 seconds they fired 11 shots. 7 of those shots hit my baby. One to the head. That killed them instantly. Not only did they shoot my baby 7 times, they ran him over because they failed to put that car in park when that driver left out so quickly. He didn't put that car in park. He was still in drive. And it was heading towards my baby's lifeless body on the sidewalk. The passenger, after he shot my son, and he's the one that gave my son the headshot, he has a military background. So he's already a trained killer. They're hiring trained killers on these forces. As soon as he's done letting off that last bullet, he trips and falls and scrapes his elbow on the street, and he jumps back up like a rocket. He's on his feet real quick. And he's crying, and he says he was in excruciating pain from 2 little baby scrapes on his elbow. How about my baby in pain? And then he realized, oh shit, the car, he starts yelling at the driver, the car, jump back in, step on the brakes. The driver starts running towards the car. By this time, the car is already hitting my son's body on the sidewalk. By the time he gets to the car, he gets halfway in, and instead of stepping on the brake, he steps on the gas. They never turn that dash cam on, so we don't have video. Well, they say they never turned it on. So we don't have video of it all in the frame. Their body cam videos I have seen, and you don't see my son pretty much in the whole video except for 1/2 of a split second where in one of the shots he got shot in the side right here. So he's reaching for his stomach, and he's like this in that split second on that video. But the rest of the videos, their arms are blocking their body cam, and their car doors are also showing on camera. Instead of, the driver actually was contemplating on whether to take that car. They pinned my son's whole entire body underneath the front carriage of their car. There's a gate, a garage gate that actually stops the car. If it wasn't for that gate to stop the car, that left front tire would roll over my son's entire head. But it stopped just centimeters from the street. Centimeters.
when it's all over with. That's what happened to George. He was 6'5". He was a big black man. They thought he posed a threat. Even when he was handcuffed, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? 8 minutes and 46 seconds. His knee never left George's neck. Even when George lost consciousness, his knee never left the back of George Floyd's neck. If they get this man off, you didn't hear this from me. If they get this man off, it's gonna be worse than what it was in the last 2 weeks. Because we're sick of it.
All right, if you're just joining us, we are live outside of the Fountain of Praise Church here in Houston. That was a mourner who was talking about George Floyd. He was an unarmed black man killed in police custody. Now, the officer who was seen with his knee in George Floyd's neck in the video that was released, he appeared in court for the first time today in Minneapolis. His bail was set at up to $1.25 million. Now, this man brought a picture of George Floyd. Do you mind showing the picture that you brought? And why did you bring this picture today?
I don't want to talk.
Okay, no problem. So he doesn't want to talk, he's being quiet, but he did bring this picture of George Floyd. I'll bring you back to the man speaking over here.
I don't know. But when I call for my mama, I'm in pain. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. When you got... That's all I gotta say.
All right, that gentleman was speaking outside of Fountain of Praise Church. This is where the third public memorial for George Floyd is being held. He grew up here in Houston, and that man grew up in the 3rd Ward, just like Floyd did. They attended the same high school. This is his 3rd public memorial. Thousands of people have been showing up all morning. This is going from noon to 6 p.m. today. His private services will be tomorrow with his family, people invited by his family. He will be laid to rest tomorrow as well, directly next to his mother. Show you the line once again. This line just continues. Some water that's been given out to the people here at the church. Okay, now one thing I want to show you. I'm gonna take you to the street over here. Once again, if you're joining us, we are in Houston live outside of Fountain of Praise Church. My name's Alexis Moffitt. I'm a reporter with Brute. I'm gonna take you to the street here. Now you might see US flags along the street. These were set up last night. They go on for about a mile. So it's not just outside of this church here. They continue through this route. A lot of people walked up to this church, so they were walking alongside these American flags right here. And you could see just how many police cars are here, fire departments here. Directly in front of us is a shuttle. People have been shuttling in here. And the crowd in front of us are people leaving the memorial, so they have already been inside. The line is incredibly long, so they waited for a very long time to get inside. Now they are heading back to their cars. All right. We have been covering protests following the death of George Floyd live on the East Coast as well as Los Angeles. I'm here in Houston. Feel free to share this Facebook Live. Feel free to like our Facebook page for the latest on our lives to get all the notifications. I'm going to end this live on this scene right here.
We called Long Beach Police Department. We said, hey, something has just happened. We need, people to come. Keep in mind, we got Lakewood Sheriff's Department and Long Beach side by side. Lakewood Sheriff's Department refused to engage. Long Beach Police Department came out, failed to secure the perimeter. That's the first thing you do in a crime scene. But because it was a black man, they didn't do their job. They didn't care. It was just another black man to them. They were on their phones. They were tiger tags, excuse me, and laughing amongst each other and taking pictures of an exposed man in his awful state. So we as a family, the TAP family, this has never happened to us. We're like, what do we do? Who do we call? We left the law enforcement negative. It took Don Martin from Black Lives Matter to reach out to us to help us engage, organize, canvass the area. Let me go back. The day of the incident, there was writing on a table that said F ends, go home, and it had a penis with 2 strokes of a black woman. The next day, that was gone. We thought we would at least have some, the city officials came in and cleaned that up because they didn't want it to be racial protest or anything, or connected to anything that was racial. In that area, it is filled with white supremacy. Lakewood Village Association has all cops living there. There are no cameras. They live by a park with no cameras in between 2 stones. So the cameras don't work. So they're policing themselves without being accountable. So we had no data to go off of. We did our own canvas. We went door to door. A lot of people never even heard of them. It was so quiet. It was so stressed. We have to get with Black Lives Matter so that we can go down to Long Beach Police Department and start asking for a reward, $30,000 that's still out there, because our white killer, who is a white supremacist, is still on the loose amongst us. The Long Beach Police Department has not reached out to our family as we thought that they would have. It's going on 2 years. His anniversary will be 2 years this come July 21st. Crickets. We're pushing and asking for information, and it's like, go away. They don't help us. So we're deciding to do our own thing. So we're here today, not to just fight for Floyd, George Floyd, not to fight for Ahmaud Arbery or Tamir Rice. We're fighting for Frederick Taft as well. We lost someone personally connected to me, and this is a movement. A movement. So we're telling you, everyone, we're trying to describe we love everyone, but no more. No fucking more.
Yeah.
We're tired. No, we're tired. Our Asians, our Latinos, our white brothers and sisters who are really Christ-like, and we're changing the world. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you all. I just want you to say his name. Frederick Taft.
Frederick Taft.
Frederick Taft.
Frederick Taft.
Frederick Taft.
Frederick Taft.
You will get justice.
Hello, my people.
trash, water bottles, trash.
Shaped by the highest heights of human possibility and the lowest lows of human suffering. This country right here is shaped by something called Western morality.
Water bottle, trash.
And in that Western morality, we have a thing that must be preserved at all costs, and that thing is innocence, and that is part of a project of whiteness. You see, in order for innocence to exist, there has to be that which is not. And in this country, black and blackness has been written in to every brick in the foundation of this country as guilty. Do you hear me? And it is because of that. It is because of that that Amy Cooper, who called the police on Christian Cooper, who was just bird watching in the park, knew that she could disappear herself, perfect, a part of herself into a project of whiteness, and run his life because she knew that she would be protected. And she knew that he would be seen as guilty. And I'll tell you how I know that this is true. Always in the back of our minds, always, this country has educated us to believe that black people must have done something to deserve what happens to us. And so they will say to us, Trayvon Martin shouldn't have gone to the store that day. Diana Stanley Jones should not have been sleeping in her grandmother's bed. That Tamir Rice should not have been playing in the park. That Tatiana should not have left her door ajar. That Rakia Floyd should have stayed home that night. That Mike Brown shouldn't have talked back. That Sandra Bland shouldn't have asserted her right. Always, in this country, there is something that they want to prove to us. To prove that black people deserve what happens to us, and black children become aware of this as soon as the world becomes aware of this.
Mm.
Black love has to be more expansive than the hate in the world for us. And black liberation must be equally expansive, because you may not have known it, but I'm going to tell you now. If you are fighting for justice, if you are fighting for liberation, then you are fighting under queerness. You are fighting under transness. You are fighting against the volume that says that there is reason to guilt. And there is and now to the clergy that are here, we're going to take this back and push this dated tradition into where it needs to be. I want to tell you that this work here that we're doing right now, this bottom line that we've all decided to stand on, which is that my life is worth protecting, and your life is worth protecting, that bottom line, that is where we need to be. Not the adornment of the clergy, and not the skin on our bodies. Nothing is sacred. Not our beating hearts, not our spirits, not our souls. And so we have to be the liberators. We here, the foundation layers and the brick layers of the future that we deserve. You are the revolution of tomorrow, because as Melina said, revolution isn't just the ending of something, it is the beginning of something new. You are the architect. Character, it reveals that you all are a revelation. You are the revolution. And the way that we win, and the way that we move forward, is to decide once and for all that we are going to claw our way out of this status quo, of the American gods of greed, of the false tenets of meritocracy. And we're going to find our voice, because this entire society has taught us to shrink. And a small people is a voiceless one. And so we have to step into our power, and much like those in the LGBTQ community are told that we must come out, it's time for us all to come out. We must come out as a process, as anti-racist, as revolutionary, as freedom fighters, as look back at the Sojourner Truth, at Angela Davis Asada, we look back on Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, and we think, my God, those were special people. But I'm going to tell you something now. Nobody starts out as remarkable. We become remarkable when we fight for freedom, when we fight for justice, when we fight for for living our full life, to be aligned in our full purpose. I'm going to tell you something. Those of us from Black Lives Matter, and many of you here, we took up the call to action when nobody would look at us. When we were the untouchables, when we were the pariahs of society, and there's nothing more clear than that, but I'm going to tell you something. We decided, when nobody had our backs, that we would have each other's. And we decided at a time in this country, and some of the thought leaders in it were asking the wrong questions, we decided that we were going to ask better ones. And we decided that we were going to write ourselves into existence the way that we have been written out of the story of America. And we wrote ourselves in. And then we got some better questions, and we got some answers. And now, at the backdrop of a pandemic, when people are facing mass evictions, in a mere matter of months, when the people are hungry, we have the answers. We have some answers. We have better questions, and one of those things, undeniably, on how to transform our society is to defund the police. We understand. Somebody imagined shackles on black wrists, and if people believe it to make it true. Somebody imagined borders, and if people believe it to make it true. Somebody imagined police, and if people believe it to make it true. So we have to be the diviners of truth, the diviners of change, the disruptors of truth. We must imagine differently and make it true. Do you hear me? Woo!
Space right there, okay, thank you.
And right now, I would like to have Myra, Reverend Myra, and then Father Nolan and Reverend Juma Pollard Smith come forward and pray over the families. Reverend Myra will be praying in Spanish, so I'll have her go first, and Reverend Juma will be praying secondly, praying over the families who have had their loved ones stolen from them.
To my fellow clergy, I hope that you preach this message this coming Sunday. To my fellow brown clergy, you must preach this message this coming Sunday. siempre presente, siempre justo. Jesús.
We don't need the police to have Hummers and military-grade equipment. There's no need for it. We don't need armed people showing up at domestic disturbance calls for calls of people with mental illness. We don't need armed people showing up when you call 911 because somebody's having a medical emergency. There's no need for it. But violence is as American as apple pie. So I don't want to hear anybody complaining about violence when a window gets broken, giving the police an excuse to come in with their billy clubs and smash people in the head. And as I said before, this isn't a partisan issue. Look at what's happening in these states with Democratic governors. Look at de Blasio, sticking up for the cops, running people over. This guy who ran as a police reformist, what has he done? Nothing. This moment we're in, well, as I said, it's not a partisan issue. I was there in Zuccotti Park in 2011 when Obama nationwide gave help to all the police departments around the country where there was Occupy protests so that they could go in and beat the shit out of people, steal their stuff out of their tents, and kick them out of the parks. That was Obama's response to nonviolent protests in the United States of America. So don't talk to me about Trump. Donald Trump is a direct result of the policies and the systems put in place by the people that came before him. Donald Trump is a result of Clinton and Obama. Barack Obama deported more people than any other president in the history of presidents. So Donald Trump is a legacy of that. And we can't think of this moment as an isolated incident, because it's not. And I don't just mean the killing of George Floyd, the killing of Breonna Taylor, the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. What I mean, all this crazy authoritarian things that we're seeing coming out of the White House and Trump, because Trump is a direct descendant of the murders of Medgar Evers, Kennedy, and Martin Luther King, and Robert F. Kennedy. The political moment we're in today is a direct result of the white backlash to the movements that happened in the 60s and 70s. And make no mistake about it, but there's a Trump number 2 and a Trump number 3 waiting in the wings, and they are more articulate, more knowledgeable about history and the political system here in America than Donald Trump is at all. And so it's great to see these movements across the country happening right now. But the real work begins when these cameras are gone. The real work begins when people go back to work and don't have time to be in the streets. The real work begins in basements and halls and meetings at people's houses. Because we don't need a reactionary movement of people only coming out and caring about things when there's a video of somebody being murdered circulating on the internet. We need to be proactive and organized. We need a plot. We need a plan. We need to form grassroots organizations on a local level. We need people to run for office on a local level. One last thing I'll leave you with on that note is thinking about the difference between what's happening to protesters who are arrested in New York City right now and what's happening to protesters who are arrested in San Francisco, where Chesa Boudin, a radical district attorney, was elected this year. Where he said, we're not going to hold these people in jail and we're not going to charge them for exercising their First Amendment rights. Well, that's the power of local elections. But it doesn't matter when you're left with two choices of this guy's horrible and this person's a little less horrible. So we're going to vote for the lesser of two evils. So we need people like you who are here today to be running for local office. Because in New York, you know what that district attorney said? Oh, I know we're supposed to let people out after 24 hours and have an arraignment, but we're in a pandemic, so we're going to hold them indefinitely. For people exercising their First Amendment rights in the United States of America. If this brutal crackdown was happening in any other country in the world, you know the State Department would be talking about how they're abusing human rights. America is the biggest abuser of human rights in the world today, and they always have been. The immigration crisis at our border is a direct result of the United States of America toppling democratically elected governments in Central and South America and installing brutal dictators. And so not only do we need to worry about Black Lives Mattering, but we need to worry about immigrant lives mattering and undocumented lives mattering and Middle Eastern lives mattering, where the United States is still bombing weddings and funerals as part of our war on terrorism. We need to worry about trans lives mattering. And we need a grassroots movement that includes all of these things. And so I hope that when this moment is over and there's no more protests to go to, and Black Lives Matter dies out on your social media feed, and the news is talking about how the NBA's back, or how Biden and Trump are debating, or some bullshit about the Kardashians, that you'll keep this energy that you have here today, that you've had for the last 2 weeks, and you'll get together and strategize, create a plan, and figure out ways to dismantle the system. Because as Martin Luther King Jr., this hero that everyone wants to quote about nonviolence, was saying many times during the year that he died, we don't need reform. We need a radical, revolutionary transformation of society and redistribution of wealth. And that right there, which most people don't know, is why he was killed. And it's not a conspiracy theory that he was killed by the FBI, the CIA, the intelligence community, and the military, and the Memphis police. If you think that's a conspiracy theory, go do some homework. The internet is very easy to find information. His family sued all of those branches that I just mentioned, and won in court in the 90s. There's several books written about it. And to leave you with this, and what that's really getting at, is that capitalism is the real problem, here and around the world. There is no way to have a non-racist capitalist society, a non-oppressive capitalist society. Capitalism can only exist on the exploitation of people and natural resources. So until we radically redistribute the wealth in this country, nothing is ever going to change, no matter how many reforms we make. No matter how many new laws are put in place to protect us from the police. As we've been doing that since this country was founded. That's what the 14th Amendment is about, isn't it? You can't legislate your way out of a problem like this. I'm not saying don't legislate or don't run for seats like I was just saying, but that can't be the end all and be all. We need a revolutionary change in this country if we actually want Black lives to matter. And in closing, I just want to say that we're standing on Lenape land. We're standing on stolen land. And I just want to acknowledge the First Nations whose land this is, for giving us this space. And I want to bring our attention back to the murder that just happened on May 23rd in New Jersey, in Bass River Township, on the side of the Parkway, where Maurice Gordon, a 28-year-old college student, was pulled over for speeding. The cop asked him to move his car to the other side of the road, but his car wouldn't start. So he waited in the back of the police car for a half an hour, not under arrest, not being detained. And when he tried to get out of the car, the cop shot him multiple times and then handcuffed him while he was dying. Handcuffed a dying man. A New Jersey state trooper who the Attorney General still didn't release his name or the body camera footage. Now his attorneys are trying to get that footage released. And so again, I know my brother before me talked about it, but I want to say his name again. Maurice Gordon. Maurice Gordon! Justice for Maurice Gordon and all the other Black lives and Indigenous lives lost, and immigrant lives lost in this country at the hands of state violence. Peace.
You keep it going for Donald! Say Maurice Gordon's name. Maurice Gordon! We're going to bring Omama back up. She's going to read some more letters of residents that could not be here today. So let's put our hands together and show love for Omama.
So this is also from an anonymous person who graduated from Brick Township High School. He'd like to say, I'll be honest, I haven't really experienced racism directly, but I definitely have heard a lot of Black jokes and stuff. I'll never forget in 8th grade, I was always a class clown, so teachers would always take jabs at me, in a jokingly way. But there was this one experience I'll never forget when a teacher I had at the time was writing some stuff on her blackboard. She said, let me use my least favorite color, and she's like, brown. and looked directly at me, and everyone in the class started laughing because I was the only black kid. And since I was just a class clown, I kind of just shrugged it off my shoulders and drew a picture of her looking like Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob. But in this town, people say nigger every now and then, even when they stub their toes. No one's ever called me one, but it's a word you definitely do hear. The weird thing is, I hear white people using the word to describe other white people. Growing up, I always thought that's how every white person was, but it wasn't until I went away to college that I realized it wasn't. But Brick is definitely a white town. There are no black coaches, no black teachers, no black police officers. I also want to point out that I don't want to give the impression that it is a racist town, because a lot of my white friends, people I'm close to, have treated me like family. They've had me over for dinner, helped me when I was at my lowest, and always had my back when I needed it. I do want black role models. There are no black coaches. There are no black teachers. There are no black policemen. There are no black mayors. There's no black people in positions of power or influence. There is no diversity. A prime example of this, and I'm sure all of you guys are aware, is when you drive by Maple Leaf, that's where all the cops patrol. That's where the majority of black people live. I've been pulled over near there, and since I was in a nice luxury car, the police pulled me over with a broken taillight, and the cop said he assumed I got a nice car like that by selling drugs, as if there was no other way I can get the car. Stuff like that is the problem in Brick, and we need to fix it. Thank you. And then I'd like to also introduce a fellow black member living in Brick, Eli Laverne.
Damn, I'm nervous. My name is Eli Laverne, and I go to school at East Stroudsburg University. I play college football there, but I don't just play football. I'm a student first. I'm a black student first. I'm majoring in social work with a minor with psychology, and I graduate this December. Here's something I wrote. First, I would like to say thank you, God, for giving me the chance and the courage talking in front of you guys. Then I would like to say thank you guys for creating this in Brick. Then I would like to say thank you guys for being here and supporting. We're all here for the same reason together as one. We all matter. Some way and somehow we all matter and can make a difference. We can all be a voice or example in some shape or form. It's upsetting how we had to come this far for us to be heard. I'm sorry for all the black lives that have been taken. All of our hearts and sympathy goes out to their families and loved ones. Now, I would like to talk about Brick. We all know it's a racist town, and we all have been involved with racism growing up here. Even myself, and I'm sorry to myself, I let a lot of things slide without saying anything. But it has to stop, and it's stopping now. It stops with us standing up. Through all this going on, my favorite saying is, if we don't stand for nothing, we will fall for something. I don't think y'all heard me. It says, if we don't stand for nothing, we will fall for something. And now it's time to stand for something. Everybody can stand, no matter black, white, yellow, purple, don't matter. Be a voice. Open people's minds and hearts. I believe we can all do it, and I'm not saying to do it tomorrow. It takes time. God said Rome wasn't built in a day. So I believe it'll be day by day as we get better and better. I pray for peace, and I pray for a solution, and I pray for no more. We cannot continue to dismiss the black lives. We want our fair chance, to live and thrive without no worry. We cannot continue to look the other way no more. If we want racial reconciliation, we have to be willing to live comfortably, uncomfortably. We have to live comfortably, be uncomfortably. Talk to someone, educate yourself, and educate others. Love one another as brothers and sisters. And last thing, everyone can put a hand up. Everyone. And just for a moment of silence for all the Black lives. Thank you.
I am here to introduce Jamal Holmes. He's here to tell us about a petition, which will is another way to make a change. So give it up for Jamal.
Black Lives Matter. 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 Hands up. 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 No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
For those of you that don't recognize me, my name is Jamal. I go by Vibe and Mall. I'm a local DJ. I organized the Towns River Walk that most of you probably saw on the news last week. Yesterday, Governor Murphy came to my demonstration in Westfield. The day before that, we visited Clark, New Jersey. Very known racist town. The day before the march, I got contacted by the organizer, and she said there's a known KKK chapter in the town. There were death threats, comments, slurs, tweets, posts, comments. We still walked right through the middle of the town. 500 plus. Two days before that, I visited Cranford, New Jersey. Mohegan Park. Beautiful park. Over 2,000 people. If you don't know Cranford, New Jersey, Cranford is 90% Caucasian. Over 2,000 people showed up in this park and walked around the lake for an hour. Before that, I visited Asbury Park. How many of y'all been there? Power to the people. And before that, we had Chief of Police Little, Prosecutor Bellheimer, Town Councilman Turnback, the Warden of the County Jail, and the Ocean County Task Force Chief, Carrington. Walk with us down Main Street. They all took a knee. We had a moment of silence. Some of you may recognize my mask. I was the one yelling. I still have no voice. A couple of my supporters from Toms River asked me to come here today. Ocean County, we have a problem. Y'all see my skin color? How many of y'all from Ocean County? From Ocean County. Now, how many of y'all are from black communities? I have been in Ocean County for 10 plus years. I am a Tom's River North graduate. I'm a local DJ. I have hosted multiple events in Seaside. I do booking at Tuscan House. A lot of people downtown know my name for good reasons, as well as some bad. I have experienced my own racism in Ocean County. Police brutality in Ocean County. I spent 4 months in the Ocean County jail for getting jumped in Seaside Heights by 6 white people. My attorney, who was the town councilman who walked with us, got my discovery, and I was instantly released after 4 months of trying to get out without trying to fight, because I didn't feel like I needed to fight. Why should I have to fight for something I didn't do? Why am I the victim sitting in jail and all of my attackers are posting about me? A year later, all charges were dismissed. We're not gonna clap about that because it shouldn't have happened. How many of you guys heard about the LBI protest? Okay, how many of you attended? Yeah. You were there? Hell yeah. Oh yeah, you was the one with the megaphone. Yeah. Babe, that was him. Power to the people, my man. I was a little bit upset. Did you see my post? I got 12,000 views right now about what I said about that protest.
Speak on it. I don't hear you.
So, y'all see my skin color. Y'all figured, you know, LBI, majority white community. You would think when they see someone of my skin color at a Black Lives Matter protest, they would make me feel comfortable. The police would make me feel comfortable. I asked, why can't we walk in the street? This is a protest. We are making a demonstration. We are sending a message. They said, we're worried about traffic. Babe, we thought 12,000 views was one thing. Let's talk about this. I got told, I went live for 4 minutes, had 1,000 views in an hour. We're at 12,000 right now. My name is Vibe and Mall. You can find it on Facebook. I did not feel comfortable. One reason, the police. I got sent a video by one of my followers that asked me to come. There was a girl walking down the street and she went to Barnegat High School, or that high school, Southern Regional, right? Am I saying that right? Okay. And she asked one of her classmates, who was a police officer, to take a knee on camera. And you know what he directly told her? No.
He said keep it moving too. He did.
Chief of Police, Tom Delaney, you were there. Where was he? Where was your mayor? Where were your town council? Where were your town leaders to support this message that we're trying to send? This is the problem, Ocean County. I appreciate all of you being here, every last one of you. I love these organizers. I don't even know y'all. I love y'all. We're about to. There's a petition going around in Stafford Township right now. I posted it on my live feed. It's went up 1,000 signs since I posted. The organizers, not him, but who was at LBI, I got a little bit of static because in my live feed, I was very angry and I mistakenly said, you know what, it was probably a white person that organized the LBI protest. And come to find out, I was actually wrong. It was a 19-year-old black man from the community and his fellow classmates. They reached out to me. Not in anger on what I said, but to agree. Did you hear what I said? But to agree with everything I said. The organizers of the protest. They felt they were trying to be silenced by the community. And there were some threats made. Death threats. By residents in the community to these 19 and 20-year-old students. 19 and 20-year-old students who want to make a change. They received death threats blatantly on the social media, Facebook posts. I think his name was Michael White. Where my cameraman at? Michael White, if you're listening to me right now, I want you to bring your gun and your bullets to Brick, New Jersey right now. And you come out here and you shoot all of us. Right now. There's a petition going on in Stafford, New Jersey, because this was brought to the township. Before the protest, nothing was done. I went live with the one kid, the 19-year-old black man, and I apologized to him on live because we had over 10,000 views on my video and everyone felt some type of way. A lot of his followers messaged me and, were like, hey, look, I was like, yo, listen, it's not against you guys or what you're doing. We're trying to make change. We demand change. We don't allow them to tell us how we're going to demand change. Stafford Township did nothing about this. This man clearly put on Facebook, hold on, everyone pull out your phones right now. Everyone pull out your phones right now. At every protest I've been going to, me and my friend, who's also another DJ, some of you might know him, DJ Drewski from Hot 97. Do you guys watch Love and Hip Hop New York? All right, he's on there too. He's been with me at all these rallies. Just so all of you know, we're doing a walk in Lacey, AKA what I was told, Hickville, Wednesday. And I got a message for AKA Hickville. Pull out your phones and go live right now. Hashtag use your voice. Hashtag use your voice. I need everyone to go live and don't just focus on me. Show everyone how many people are here right now standing up for justice. Because this is how we make change. Everyone needs to use their voices, their platforms, their voices. Speak on it. Don't just post about it. Speak on it. Hashtag use your voice. This is what we have been doing in every spot we have stopped in. Everyone needs to be heard. This petition in Stafford, if you look up, go to change.org, look up LBI protest, and you will see the disgusting comments that were left for these 19 and 20-year-old students who wanted to make change in their white community. This is a problem. I'm waiting for Bill Heimer to call me back right now. He got a message from me this morning. I'm just letting y'all know. Because if I don't get a call back, me and my protesters, we going back downtown. Because if the Ocean County prosecutor is gonna walk with my black ass and take a knee in a moment of silence and say that we stand for Black Lives Matter, and you told me on Channel 12 News and Asbury Park Press and the Towns of Patch and whoever this is right now recording me that you support Black Lives Matter, then what is your town doing in Stafford? Now I have a question for you guys. Where's your mayor? We got a march. I ain't gonna touch on it too much, but y'all know where I'm going. Like brother said before, this starts in your communities. It starts in your communities. We can watch all these posts. We can watch all the riots. We can share pictures. We can share videos. We can be mad and we can talk and we can rant and we can comment. But it starts in your community. I don't know about y'all, but I'm visiting every racist community in New Jersey. He said, when the protests stop, what y'all gonna do? He said, when Black Lives Matter dies out, what y'all gonna do? Brother, I don't know about you, but my voice is not going to stop. Hashtag use your voice. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. No justice. No justice. No justice. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amber, if you forgot. I just want everyone to look around, take a second, look at the crowd. Thank you. I'm saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. Give it up. Give it up for each other. We had an amazing turnout today. I wasn't sure how many people were coming out, but I had no idea this many people would be here. I have to thank Omaima, Chris, and Rodney. I couldn't have done it without them, so give it up for them. Thank you to our amazing speakers today. Louder, let's go. It takes a lot to come up here. And I just want to say thank you one more time for coming here with open ears, open minds, and open hearts. I could feel that we were here listening and learning, which is what is so important to do right now in order to take further steps. We are going to march. I need you, before we go, I need you to take a look around your surroundings. We will make a mark, but this is not our mark. I do not litter. Pick up all of your stuff. We will make our mark in another way. We are going to split into two. Split. Yep, make a line. Split. Chris is separating you. You will follow me and the other organizers as we walk down the middle. I want you to keep in mind the loud voices that we had for the entire protest so far, and I want you to make your mark in these streets right now. Here we go! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Make everyone hear you, make everyone uncomfortable. Black lives! Black lives! Black lives! Say his name! Say his name! Thank you guys. We're going to walk up waters all the way at the front if you need a beverage. They're free. Please feel free to take as many as you need.